waiting outside. I know it's a kind of a chilly evening, and we didn't mean to keep you guys waiting so long. But this is the Town of Dayton's Board of Selectmen's regular meeting. Today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, and it's about 6:17 p.m. This meeting is being recorded. The listening of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. We were in executive session. We just voted to come out of executive session. I'm going to ask that everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then can you just stand for one more moment after that, because we have a friend and neighbor that we lost this week. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Like I said, we lost a friend, Louise DeRosiers. She was a great person, and we're sad that she's passed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to get right into scheduled appointments. First one is Paul Reed. Hi, Paul. How are you?
What's up?
I've had a 50-50 shot. You are resigning after so many years of service. Retiring, not resigning. Well, I'm sorry. Kind of the same result. But how come? How come you want to retire?
So I can watch Steve and his brother and sister and my great-granddaughter grow up.
Oh, awesome. That's so cool. You and me both. I was reading over your resume, and it's so impressive that I think we were all as selectmen blown away by what you have achieved. I didn't realize you were a call firefighter, and that's awesome that you did that. And then to be a dispatcher, it was equally impressive. Yeah. But your resume, police officer, reserve police officer for 9 years, a call firefighter for 8 years, and then 25 years doing what you do best, yeah, which is greatly appreciated by the town, and you're going to be missed. That's the least I can say. We have a certificate of recognition that I'd like to read, and then I think the chief has something to add. Oh, I'm sorry.
He snuck up on us.
This is from the Town of Dayton Board of Selectmen, 979 Somerset Avenue, Dayton, Mass. 02715. Certificate of recognition. This certification is proudly presented to Paul Raymond Reed, Jr. in honor of 36 years of dedicated service to the Town of Dayton. Your unwavering commitment, professionalism, and selflessness contributes to have left an indelible mark on our community. You have served with distinction in the following roles: Reserve Police Officer for 9 years, Steadfast Protection and Public Safety, a call firefighter for 8 years, Courageous Emergency Response and Community Care, and Communications Dispatcher for 25 plus years of vital service, accumulating in your appointment as Director of Communications in 2014. That's a long time. Your leadership, integrity, and tireless devotion have exemplified the high standards of public service. The Town of Dayton expresses its deepest gratitude, admiration for your extraordinary legacy. In witness whereof, we have unto set our hands and caused this great seal of Dayton, Town of Dayton, to be affixed on this 10th day of September 2025. And it's going to be, well, it is signed by the Board of Selectmen. Thank you, sir. If the chief has something he'd like to present.
And to add to that, Paul, I think I can speak for everybody in this room that you've been a staple in communications for quite some time, ever since my tenure, 21 years, and everybody else can say that you've been a joy to work with, and it's been a lot of fun, and we wish you the happiest of retirement. I want to present you with a glass piece here that says Public Safety Communications, presented to Paul Reed for 36 years of dedicated service to the Town of Dayton.
It's so cool. Paul, good luck, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy those kids.
Thanks.
Did anybody want to take pictures before we continue? Guys, all, come on up.
Where's your wife? She's usually the picture one. Oh, priorities.
I know.
Okay. So they want me out of the way.
Go over there. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, can we get one for the website too, please? Oh, please stay. Chief, you're up.
Okay, greetings, everybody. It is my recommendation the Board of Selectmen consider appointing the following candidate as a full-time public safety dispatcher, Dalton Johnson, who resides at 178 Highland Street, Apartment 3 in Taunton. Dalton's been working with us as a part-time public safety dispatcher for the last few years and is current in all his training and certifications, and he performs his duties well and to the best of his ability. I'd like to put him on.
Great. I don't know, Dalton. I question your commitment to the town. I think it's awesome that you want to do this. It's great for the town. I'm sure it's going to be great for you as well. But I have nothing but great praise for you for all that you've done with the cable committee and certainly as a dispatcher. So I have no questions at all about you being put on this full time. Thank you. Nicole, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I mean, you have some big shoes to fill, so if you can come back here in that many years and everyone's still smiling and happy to see you, you've done your job, so thank you.
Thank you for taking on this role and stepping up and serving the town. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Make a motion.
So
This is a review, discuss, and act.
I'll make a motion to appoint Dalton Johnson as a full-time communications dispatcher.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations again. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is what we signed. Paul, we have this certificate that we signed for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Suitable for framing.
Thank you.
Chief, you're still up. You don't get off that easy. This is a review, discuss, and act, decommissioned patrol car.
That is a vehicle, detail car that's been pretty much at its end. It's, I don't know if we're going to be able to use it for parts or if we're going to be able to use it for auction, but we're going to go through it. But it's at its days.
It's 2014.
Yeah.
It's old.
Yeah, yes, very old.
Yep.
And I don't even know what it has for exact mileage because it was a replacement motor in it
Oh,
from
wow.
the floods back in March of like 2019 or whatever
Okay.
that was. So yeah,
So it's time to put it out to
it is.
pasture.
Yes.
Sure. I have no issues with that. Nicole or Mark?
No.
All right. This is a review, discuss, and act, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the decommission of the patrol car as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Surplus items for disposal, Chief.
Yes, the keyboards and computer monitors that are pretty much not used anymore because they're outdated. If there is any monitors that are functioning that would, other departments that would want to look at, then I'll put an email out to everybody.
Okay. How old are they?
Some of them are since we've been in the station now, 6 years old.
6 years old?
Yeah,
So you got your life out of them.
yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve the surplus items for disposal.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I have a question for our chief before he leaves, if you
Sure.
don't mind. Later on in our agenda, there's discussion about signage at street corners.
Yes.
And I was gonna propose later on about having someone from your department just check it out when it's up, just to make sure
Absolutely.
it's safe and people have line of sight and all of that. Do you
Yeah.
have someone that handles that or could handle it?
We can put an email out to patrol, you know, when they're out and about. If they see anything, they can address it with me, and then I'll move it up the chain.
Perfect.
But I did reply to an email earlier
Right,
this
I
week
saw
about signage,
Yeah.
and I reiterated what the fire chief had said, as long as it's not obstructing the view to create any hazards for the motorists.
Right.
on the-
I was just gonna ask for someone to put their eyes on it, that's all,
Yeah.
once it's up.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Chief. Annabelle? You didn't think you're gonna get off that easy, did you?
I was hoping. I was hoping.
So whenever you're ready, you can start.
So,
Barbara Perry?
I'm here because one of our primetime supportive day program workers has left her employment.
Yep.
And we are in need to hire a replacement. This position is paid not through town funds, but through the Primetimes revolving fund.
Okay,
And we were hoping that you would allow us to do so.
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Unless these two don't want to.
I just want to understand, the revolving fund, is that the funds that come through, what do they come through?
So the revolving fund is the funds that come through from the private paying attendees or the grants that pay for our attendees to attend, and also through the home care program through Bristol Aging and Wellness.
Okay, thank you.
I have no comments.
No. Okay, Barbara had sent us a letter saying that she was leaving on September 2nd, and we accept that, obviously. It's gonna be sad to see her or anyone go, but it's nice that you have already got plans to replace her.
We knew that this was a long process, so we
Yeah.
tried to get it going right away.
Okay, great. Then we have a job description for the program support aide. This is a review, discuss, and act.
So you're looking for permission to post, or do you not need permission? You have your own board, right?
Our board is aware of all of it, and they're okay with us going forth and hiring.
Okay.
It's a position that it has to be filled.
Right,
You know, as it
right.
is, we're running, we used to have 3 or 4 of them, and we just have 2 now, so,
Just
know-
on this agenda, though, it just says approval. It's just a job description, but you mentioned posting too. Do you need approval to post, or no? Like through the selectmen, I guess is my question.
No.
No, you just mentioned it, that's all.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I asked. Yeah,
okay,
okay.
So you're gonna post the position?
correct.
Right. For 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2
2
weeks?
weeks.
Okay. And then there was a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion to approve the job descriptions for program support aid as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Great,
Thank you.
Annabelle.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening,
You
everyone.
too.
So,
Ron, an exciting time for you, sir.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks for joining me as well. Yeah, 10 days, and we'll have a new library, so we're really excited.
Yeah.
Staff are working diligently to get books on the shelves and get this space ready for the grand opening on the 20th.
Great.
We've sent out invitations to past members of the trustees, past members of prior building committees, and past staff, and past selectmen, and I'm here this evening to make sure that you folks know that of the date. We
Yes.
did send an invitation to you folks because
I'll be there.
you'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of our questions is whether you want to say a few remarks on behalf of the
If you
selectmen.
want me to, I would absolutely love to.
Happy to put you on the program to do that.
Sure.
And to join us for the ribbon cutting.
Yes,
Right now, the ribbon cutting is myself, co-chairperson of the building committee, Ken Pacheco, Mark Propnick, library director, and Zachary Lapointe, who's the chair of the Friends of the
Friends of
Dayton
the
Public
Library.
Library. The Friends have been an enormous support for us, as they always have been. They've got their golf tournament coming up. Just want to put in a plug for that as well, because they're working really hard on that.
Sure.
And so that's all I wanted to do this evening to make, and I guess I can tell you who is planning to come.
Yeah.
Briefly, Senator Dooner will be there. Former Town Administrator Mike Mullen and former Town Administrator Mallory Aronstein, both of whom are strong supporters of the library, will be there.
Great.
Several former members of the trustees, so we've got a good list. About
Nice.
20 people have responded to about 60 letters that we sent out, so
Awesome.
we're excited. We just want to make sure we reserve seats
Yeah.
in the front for VIPs, such as those people, as well as yourselves.
That's
So,
nice of you to
if
say. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think that's all I had, unless you had any specific questions for me. We're obviously super excited. This is going to be a
I
great...
don't. I know you
Some
guys are
people have said
excited.
that this is the best thing to happen in Dayton in a long time, and
Sure.
I couldn't agree more.
It's a
so.
beautiful building. You guys have done a tremendous job with your efforts, and it shows.
Well, thank you.
that
Thank
your
you.
commitment has been outstanding,
Yeah.
and we
Gotta-
certainly appreciate it. And I think the town loves the idea.
Yeah, we've got great support, by the way, from cross-town departments.
Yeah.
I'm going to... Tom Ferry's been, and his team have been amazing with
Awesome.
helping with moves. So I'm going to turn it over to...
Ken.
Just briefly, one thing that Ron didn't say, Peter, is that he's limiting everybody to 4 minutes to speak.
That's
So,
fine.
got a long speech. So I'll be speaking as well as Ron will be speaking at that, as well as Mark will be speaking.
Mm-hmm.
The other Mark will be speaking at that meeting. I'm just here to tell you that the building committee that was formed by the Board of Selectmen, I think I was sitting up there when
Yeah,
it was
you were.
formed, has completed the job, that the town is getting a beautiful, fully functional library under budget, which is very important. It took us a while, it took us over 3 years, but the town is going to really appreciate the library that you're going to receive. Although the building committee has completed its task, I'm asking that you keep the building committee together until June 30th, when the
Absolutely.
term expires, just in case something comes up, because
Sure.
we're going to open it up on that Saturday, the 20th. If there's any bumps in the road or whatever, we can address them. So,
We can do that with no issues.
sure. So again, I invite the public as well as you people to the ribbon cutting. It's going to be a great experience for the town. I believe it's at 9 o'clock, starts at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And it's going to be, we expect a lot of people. I've been in the library, obviously, many times to see the progress. It's a beautiful library. And many people in this town for years have been asking for a library. We're not going to have
It's been 30 years.
a brand new library like a lot of us did want. However, for what we got, it really is nice for the amount of money that it costs. Nicole was on the committee, by the way. I should have mentioned
Yes.
that. So we're looking forward to the ribbon cutting, and we appreciate if you guys can attend.
It's amazing what you have done with an old building, and I'm glad you kept the character of it, because
Yes,
it adds to the niceness of
Sure,
the
Pat
whole
Gale
project.
was so involved and so concerned about different, any change that we were talking about. And I don't know if any of you have been in there.
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Then you know some of the great changes that we've done there,
Yes.
but how we've kept the historic part of the Smith Memorial Hall
Right.
together. So we're very pleased with the product
Oh,
that
you guys have done
we're giving the
outstanding
town.
work.
And the town should really be impressed with the work
Yes.
that the building committee, as well as the highway department, BP, there's so many other people that contributed to this. So I think my 4 minutes are up. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I think, I just want to thank Ken for, he chaired, I was co-chair, but he chaired the meeting.
He changed a lot.
Because one of the things we did was have the trustees meet with the building committee every time, so there was no, okay, well, the trustees now have to schedule a meeting.
Yep.
So we were there all the meetings.
Very efficient.
I think that it was, and I think that worked well. So next time you build a building for the library, in like 100 years, we can,
Okay. We'll call on the same people. Thank you, guys. Mr. Ferry, this is a review, discuss, and act of the advertising signs on the corners of Center Street and William Street and Forest and Tremont Street.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
As you know, the Dayton Lions explored 2 signs already out in the town to help promote local businesses, give them an opportunity to get their word out. They pay for a 1-month setting, and then we switch the signs, and also we maintain the flowers to give some fauna out there in our community to enjoy. And it's starting to get momentum. That they're really expressing they're already scheduling next year's.
Wow.
So it's And plus, we do have a lot of businesses that don't get a lot of publicity, so this is a good way of doing it right in our own community rather than something that's out there. So
Right.
we want to put it right in everyone's faces
Sure.
to help promote their businesses.
Which
That's
you
what it's
do,
about.
because I see them all the time.
Right.
And they stand out, which is nice.
Yes, we got a good team to maintain them. I mean,
And it's your department that maintains it?
no, the Lions Club maintains it.
The what?
Lions Club maintains it.
Oh, Lions Club,
Yes.
okay.
Yep, we may assist in July, August, where it's very dry with the water
Watering,
buffalo, but other
yeah.
than that, it's the Lions Club that maintains them.
Wow,
They do
wow.
the arrangements and
Much
change the
appreciation
signs.
to them, too.
Yes.
Okay, this is a review, discuss, and act. Does anybody have any concerns other than the chief of both fire and police had, not concerns, but addressed that their hazardous intersections to begin with?
Correct.
Which you're well aware of. And just want to make note to the selectmen that when we consider it, which I don't have an issue with it, we're just aware that they're busy intersections.
Yes, yes, our bylaws, that's why the bylaw is created the way it is.
Yep.
To assist that, so the 25-foot setback will take care of that.
Right. Nicole, do you have any questions?
No.
Mark, do you have any concerns?
Will you be the one directly involved in placing these signage at the
Yes.
corners? So could you ensure that someone from the police department puts their eyes on it after that, just for line of sight and
Did I
safety?
get to dial 911?
That would be the quickest way to do it, but probably not the best way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was told I had 3 minutes and Ken had 4.
You can have 5, Tom, because you do double the work.
Sorry, Ken.
This is a review, discuss, and act, so we need a motion on the floor, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the addition of 2 advertisement signs as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Gale? No, you don't have to if it's more convenient for you, sir.
So I have 16, so that's gonna give me 30 minutes.
Okay. The clock's ticking.
So very quickly, first things first. The Open Space Committee just wanted to bring to your attention, and I believe you have it in your packet.
Yes.
In 2021, there was an open space plan that the town tentatively had adopted, that was put together with the town and Serpent at the time. And Serpent had come back and then given the town several things that had to be done in order for the open space plan to be completed. That plan would affect everything in open space from how it's used to grants going forward, et cetera, et cetera. For whatever reason, and I don't know why, and none of you were on the board at the time either, the ball got dropped somewhere along the line, doesn't matter who, how, or why. But as we go forward now and we look to the future for grants, that original open space plan from this would have expired in 2027. The state has now given us a 3-year extension, but in order to do that, we have to become compliant by the end of this year. So what you have in front of you is the original types of things that have to be done to become compliant by the end of this year. So our town administrator has reached out to the departments that open space has to work with so that we can meet with them, get the things together that need to be done. Serpent will be working with us as well because some of these items are already put together. They just need to be slipped into that list of numbers of things you have in the letter there. And then that not only will extend it until 2030, but that will then make the town eligible to apply for other types of grants through the state and so forth for uses of our open space. And again, this affects everything from how we use it for recreation, for hiking, for hunting, for fishing, for all of these types of things. So we wanted to get that on your radar to let you know. We will be asking for input periodically from folks from different committees if we feel we need to, but most of this is, as I alluded to already, is put together. It's a matter of getting it done, and then we will bring it back to you before the end of December hopefully for your approval and any questions that you have at that point.
Sure. Nice job, Jonathan. Thank you.
So that's one item, and I have
Yeah.
2 others because I have.
Yeah, it's okay.
Another thing is, so that everyone is aware, Open Space Committee will be having somebody from the state and the land trust programs coming when we have our next full meeting on the 1st of October. And they will be talking about how to develop a land trust for our town. And we're looking at that because a lot of towns around us have land new digs at Lower Town Hall at that point, because the library will have moved already. So that's where we'll be having our meeting on the 1st. And then we have a meeting coming up next week on the 16th as well. And in the 16th meeting, we will be reviewing many of the committees in town, including Board of Selectmen have already had someone from Circuit come and talk about putting together the bylaw for the, losing my train of thought here.
Take your
For
time,
the,
Chip.
Conservation Subcommission, subdivisions, and how that has to go. So we will be meeting on the 16th, which is next Tuesday, to go over the amendments for bylaw. This is just a general discussion and recommendation. It's not a quote, public meeting, unquote. Once the final plan is put together, then there will be a public meeting, so that can be heard. We'll also have another discussion of this on the 6th of October, and that will be here, and that will be Circuit presenting the plan for people to hear about, learn about, talk about, and then get more recommendations. That also has to be submitted and completed by the end of this year, and then eventually that has to go on the town warrant, so there'll have to be a public meeting early in the year. But I wanted to let people know of those things so that everyone is aware, it can go on people's radar. We do need public input. We're not getting public input on these things, even when we have our open space meetings. And what we don't want is for residents to come back later and say, you never told us, we weren't aware, we weren't involved. We're making every effort to get people involved in these processes, whether it's the plan that I just alluded to, whether it's the bylaw change, or whether it's a land trust. If people aren't involved and don't become active, I challenge them to come back later and say, we never knew. We're making every effort by publicity, websites, mailers, other means to tell people what's involved. So that's all I have, but there's a lot going on that open space is involved in doing right now, so I just wanted to let you all know. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. It's an important aspect for the town, and I don't think it gets the recognition that it deserves. It's unfortunate that people are not more involved, but they certainly will have opinions.
Well, I think the bylaw change that's the one that's really important for people to be involved in, because that affects everything. People talk about housing and going forward and how it affects our tax base, and whether we have large footprint homes or small footprint developments or business development. That plan specifically has new language in it that will enable, on one hand, for housing development and small pocket types of development, which I know there are mixed feelings about, and we need to hear that, but also how the town in the future could attract business, and how we would use open space and combine it with housing and with business. So, I know there are a lot of pros and cons both ways. This is not the place to get into that, but it is the place to say we need people to come because we need input to make fair recommendations.
Sure.
And that's for everyone in town. It's not just recommendations from Open Space Committee. They take all their recommendations and put it together to come up with a plan that's viable.
Good. Nicole, do you have anything you want to
No.
add? Mark?
Thank you for the update. Is the Open Space Committee fully staffed with volunteers?
We are still seeking two
Two
People.
members.
We've been seeking that for a long time. I think, it's the same problem that a lot of committees have right now in town. A lot of folks are committed to other things. It's a much faster paced world than it used to be. We're not getting a lot of younger people, which I wish we were, who are, more recently in town and so forth. Simply because, they have families, they have young kids. We're facing the same challenges a lot of committees and commissions are facing in town.
I'm pretty predictable at this point, but I always like to say e-signs are great. I don't know what's on our schedule for the e-signs, but that'd be pretty cool to see open space. It looks like you have some important work ahead of you. And maybe would our town administrator be open to doing a Facebook post looking for open space volunteers?
Absolutely.
Get the word out, because you guys need help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. We appreciate your efforts. Okay, moving on to announcements, please.
Through the chair, this is a review discuss.
Oh, that's
act
right. I'm sorry.
To allow,
Then to-
for the extension,
Right.
for the open space review
Okay.
plan.
That's right, I'm sorry, I
Not
missed
the,
that.
not the subdivision, this is the open space review plan.
And the state did approve it contingent upon the selectmen? Did I hear that right? The state approved the extension?
Yes,
They did.
yeah.
They have to put in for the request
They
for
have
the
to put in
extension.
for it.
Yeah.
But if they do, it sounds like they'll
Yeah,
be
it's
amenable.
as long as we know that we have, as long as they know that we've agreed to do it by the end of this month, And I'll send that letter out through the town administrator. But as long as they know that we're working on it by the end of this month, then we're putting documentation together. And again, we do have some of the material already, so we're not gonna have to do it from square one. But there's things they need to know, historical information, watershed information, mapping, geomapping, things like that. So as long as they know we're doing it, we have the extension for the 3 months.
Okay,
Fantastic.
good.
I'll make that motion to approve the open space and recreation plan extension request.
I just have a question.
Sure.
Sorry, Mark. So there's a lot of stuff on here that may have other departments' involvement and whatnot, and the end of the year is closely coming. Do our other departments have the time and resources
Yeah,
to work on this?
we reached out, I reached out to those departments. There's a lot of the work on the list is already done by Serped. So, there's just a few items left that are, internal to town hall.
Okay.
And we should be able to get them fairly quickly.
Okay, thank you.
I've already reached out to a couple of the departments on that list, from the memo that Ralph sent out asking them to work with this. So I've already reached out to a few people and set up times to get together with myself and others so that we can put it together. We may actually, if it goes the way we'd like, we may actually have it done by the end of October. It's just a matter of people giving us what we need.
Okay, I second Mark.
Thank you.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to announcements.
The Dayton Public Library will have their grand opening celebration from September 20th to the 25th with a library dedication and ribbon cutting at 9 a.m. on September 20th. The Dayton's Lion Club Food Bank will be held next Saturday, September 20th, located at Town Hall in the lower level. The Dayton Historical Society presents Queen Elizabeth II, Her Majesty, performed by Cheryl Fay on Saturday, September 27th at 1 p.m. at Old Town Hall. The Friends of the Dayton Public Library will have their third annual golf tournament. It will take place on Sunday, October 5th at the Swansea Golf Club. For registration, contact Kevin Smith at 508-509-2713 or revivedaytonparks@gmail.com. On Saturday, October 25th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Drug Enforcement Administration will coordinate with the Dayton Police Department for a one-day coordination prescription drug take-back event to remove potentially dangerous controlled substances from homes. This is an opportunity for the public to surrender pharmaceuticals, controlled substances, and other medications to law enforcement for destruction.
Great. Thank you. This is the first of two public inputs. Does anybody want to be heard at this time? Yes, sir.
Good evening. Bill Moore, 1835 Smith Street. Sorry I haven't been around lately. I've had personal stuff taking up my time. And also, I'm not in a good mood right now. I'd like to acknowledge, the horrible events of today. It weighs heavily on my heart. But the show must go on. I want to talk about the budgetary issues in particular. I've seen a disturbing trend over the past, 6 months or so. You people here were elected by the people of Dayton, specifically have been told we don't want more taxes. We're fed up. We've had enough taxes. My taxes are outrageous. I'm blessed that I actually have another property in Attleboro. My property taxes on a similar property in Attleboro are somewhere around a half of what they are here in Dayton. And we have many senior citizens, et cetera, people on fixed incomes. We can't afford $1,000 a month in taxes. That's a rent payment. You were told loudly, no more taxes. You've been told loudly at the ballot box. We've been told loudly when the last time a debt exclusion came up, it was said, no, we don't want a debt exclusion. We don't want more taxes. Then there was this idea of a trash fund or enterprise fund that was roundly defeated at the last town meeting. Yet we're discussing it again,
It was tabled.
but it was still discussed again. And I think that there's a problem that the people in this room aren't understanding the fact that we don't want more taxes. The right thing, it sounds to me that you're trying to come up with ways, creative ways, to get more money into our budget instead of looking at more creative ways to reduce our expenses. Now, I've said at annual town meeting, and I'll repeat it here again, there's a huge problem with our budget. It's called Dighton-Rehoboth's Regional School District. Money's being poured into there in massive amounts. The waste there is out of sight. When I was stood up last at annual town meeting, I made the statement that people were getting 5% raises. I'm sorry, I was wrong. When I looked further into it, I realized that they're using creative accounting to get 10% raises. So instead of having one line item that this is my salary, it's, oh, this is my salary, and then they added a brand new line item saying, oh, this is your vacation pay. That line item never existed. So when I came to town meeting and said, hey, look at this 5% raise, well, that was 5% raise in their base pay, plus they got 5% more in vacation pay. Well, when the school district is 50% of the budget, and they're coming to us asking for 4, 5, 6% increases, we are up against the levy limit. And I can spend a long time talking about this. I mean, anybody that wants to talk about how taxes work and levy limits and Prop 2.5 and all that, I will gladly go on, bore you to sleep about it. But if you're going with an entity that's taking 50% of our budget and they're asking for a 4, 5, 6% increase, well, that money's got to come from somewhere. And that money comes from the other 50% of government. So that means that when we've got a Prop 2.5 limit, that means that we can't give 2.5% to everybody else. We've got to give 1% or less. But then we're contracted that we have to give people 2% raises. So that puts us in a position that we either have to have a Proposition 2.5 increase or we're going to have to cut services. This is where the gaping problem is, and I'm not seeing this board dealing with that. That is where the problem is. I implore you to, I understand later on the agenda there is another debt exclusion idea. I did not realize that the BP debt exclusion had already passed. I would like to recommend that you do not pass a debt exclusion on to the voters this year. They've already said no. I would also respectfully request that you rescind the BP motion for a debt exclusion that you did at your last meeting. On another note, I also wanted to talk as the previous speaker was talking about, is SERPED. And there will be public input. I'm not sure he's going to be happy about the public input. But what's going on with SERPED is they want to turn our little town into a Boston, a suburb, using the word, more urban. They want to take us out of rural into more urban. They want to pack more and more houses into smaller areas. And until somebody convinces me that there is some benefit to this town, and that's the argument I plan to make, there is no benefit to the town of Dighton to make any changes to our current subdivision law. All this does is going to assist developers and have more development come to our town. And again, I don't want to probably pass my 4 minutes already. I will gladly speak at length with any of you if you want to talk about how each individual house that we add is adding a greater tax burden on every single person in town. So we cannot have more and more housing without commercial development. What we really need is commercial development. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Hull. Yes.
For the record, Leonard Hull, 760 Main Street, Dighton. I'd like to remind this committee that you do, in fact, work for the voters, and that I would ask that you allow the decisions of whether or not there is a debt exclusion to be decided by the voters, not by 3 people on the Board of Selectmen. I'm not saying you are for or against it. I'm just saying give them the opportunity to vote on it, one way or the other. I'm not saying I'm in favor or against, but it should be a decision made by the voters. On the second issue, with Serpent. Serpent is an advisory agency that works with the town of Dayton at next to nothing as far as what it's costing the town of Dayton. They help us plan. They do not make the final decision. They take input from people. You heard Mr. Gale earlier this evening express some frustration by the lack of input. But again, any decision that's made about the planning and growth or lack of growth in the town of Dayton should be decided by the voters. With that being said, there has been a lot of talk about planning for growth, planning in general in this town, in dealing with development, open space, and the like. We've done a lot of talk, but there really hasn't been any action. Because if there was, we wouldn't have some of the problems that we have in this community, like a lack of industrial growth or a lack of affordable housing. My understanding is 40B numbers with a goal of the state was 10%. Dayton at one point was at 5%, and now is at 4%. So it's going in an opposite direction than what the state would like to see. How that hits home is that, yes, we do have a high tax rate, and that affects our seniors tremendously. We talk about affordable housing, looking at it from the local level, not looking at the statewide or national political scene. There are a lot of seniors in this community that are against the wall, and they could benefit by an expansion of Lincoln Village or more senior housing. In addition, we have some seniors who are really up against it that own large tracts of land. And who they sell to can have a huge impact on the town, on schools, on services. I think we need to have more discussions and get more people involved, and I would encourage members of the Board of Selectmen to come to the meeting when Serpent is making their presentation October 1st, because we got to work together on this. But on the second, I would ask that we allow the voters, whether it be through the voting box or a town meeting, to make their voices known. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Anyone else at this time? Hi.
Ellie Bedrone, 209 Beach Street.
Sure.
On July 9th, I brought the town a water sample that I had taken off of Birch Street, down off of Pleasant Street, with a head E. coli in it. The town has done nothing about this situation. This one person, there's a pretty tight community down there, and the town isn't doing anything about it. I went to one meeting, they said that they were gonna do water testing. Do we have any results from the town's water testing?
I think we do. Isn't that the
They-
letters that were on emails today? Beach Street you're talking about, right?
Right. The Alliance Health Agent reviewed the water testing that was submitted by Ms. Boudreau, and they said that no action is needed at this time with the results of that were presented.
So now that we've got winter and spring coming up and things are gonna be getting full and water's gonna be moving everywhere, you're just gonna let E. coli go through the whole neighborhood?
So
I don't think there was E. coli in it, correct?
Yes, there was.
It wa- If I remember correctly, it was, again, the Alliance took a look at it and said no action is necessary at this time, but we are, just as you know, working with the health department and with, we're gonna have a meeting with the highway director tomorrow to see if there's anything we could do. I know something was mentioned a few years ago, possibly a drain easement to assist that water flow, so we're taking a look at that.
Okay. There's progress coming.
There is?
Yes. Like he was just saying, they're gonna meet tomorrow, but I saw an email today that said that there was no reason to continue, that there was nothing there that was offensive. But if you're saying otherwise, have you had the water tested?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And I am E. Boudreau, the one that submitted that test.
Yep.
I brought it down to the lab that you guys use, and it came back with E. coli in it.
Okay.
And I think it needs to be addressed.
Sure.
Because of this one person, there's the rest of us down there. We have a right to live in a clean and healthy environment. And we should. And I think this town needs to do something about it.
Could the town administrator keep this resident in the loop on the status of that meeting?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have.
I've already
contact?
talked to him in his office.
Okay, he'll
Yeah.
keep you in the loop on the contact.
And he called me back and said, there's really nothing we can do. There's gotta be something we can do because people have gotten sick down there.
Okay. That's good to know.
I think the water issue is an ongoing discussion, and we'll make sure that you're kept in the loop on whatever discussion they have tomorrow. And
I know Cliff Perry was supposed to, do you know who he is? He was supposed to write up a report. I never got a report. Did you guys get a report?
He's the one that did the testing, right?
Cliff Pierre reviewed the testing,
Oh,
right.
he reviewed the test. But who did the testing?
It was,
So it was their test, and then, but how does he review it? Does he just review whatever he gets as document, or is he actually?
right, he got
doing-
what he had, he went down and met you, correct, Cliff?
Yes, he did. He asked me
Okay.
where I took the water sample from,
Okay,
and I showed him.
yeah. I don't think the Alliance did a water sample at the time, they just used the results for what was submitted to them from Ms. Boudreau.
Okay.
I can speak on behalf of the health
I,
department.
I see no action from the town, and it's a shame.
Well, we
It's a
have
shame.
a meeting tomorrow about it, and we're gonna make sure that you are made aware of what comes out of that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Anybody else for public input? Yes, Mark.
I just wanted to discuss the debt exclusion.
Yeah.
So, from my perspective, as a sitting selectman, and an advocate for the original debt exclusion, the feedback that I got, and we talked about this at many meetings, was that folks were confused on the language. And it didn't fail in the fall by overwhelming numbers. It failed by a small margin. So hearing that feedback from our voters, we're back to drum board, what can we do to make to clarify the language of the debt exclusion so they understand what they're voting for? Found a Mass General law that allows us to send out mailers and to clarify what a debt exclusion is. So we went to the last town meeting and explained that to our voters in that room, that we're looking to have another debt exclusion and have more language and mailers available for folks to understand what that means and what the impact is. The voters in town meeting approved the change, us to accept that Mass General law with the understanding that that was our intent as a board. So listening to our voters, they did approve us accepting the Mass General law, and they did know what our intentions were as a board. So I think it does make sense. My perspective on the enterprise fund was, you alluded to it, it didn't fail, it was tabled. So we did more research and had more discussions, and we did decide not to move forward with it as a board, but we did do some more research and brought in experts and discussed it more, as I think we're required to do. So that's my public input.
Okay. We did have a working session on last Wednesday to discuss the budget. And there are a couple of alternatives budgets And rest assured that it's not being taken care of. Whether we have a complete answer, probably not. If the debt exclusion passes, it's one budget. If it doesn't pass, it's another budget. But my philosophy has always been, I'm sick of taxes as well. And I don't want to see more taxes. We're not going to have an enterprise fund, so it's off the table. We're not going to just look for a Proposition 2.5 override because people don't want it. They don't want the enterprise fund for the town, the trash. So it's being looked at. I don't want anybody to think that it's not being addressed. Like I said, we did have a 2-hour working session this past Wednesday, which we discussed what the options were going to be.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
Ralph, on the Beach Street thing, just real quick, when you, after that meeting, if you could send out something to us individually, just to give us an update?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Is that it for Selectmen's reports then? Kind of,
Yes.
I don't have any.
Nicole, you don't have anything?
No.
Okay, Town Administrator's report.
Something just very quickly. It's a Serpent themed night tonight. The housing production plan, the survey is still open. It is closing Sunday, September 14th. So if you have not participated in the survey, I encourage people to go to it and fill it out. It talks about housing types, what the town of Dayton would like to see, and so forth. Current to the last I heard, we had 172 participants, which is a pretty good number. But it will close Sunday night, September 14th, and I encourage anybody who wants to know what's going on to go there and complete the survey. And it's a good opportunity. This is the initial opportunity for people to have a voice as to what they want to see in the housing production plan.
Was that reopened? I
It-
thought that was already closed.
No, it never closed.
Oh.
It was open. We just, it was just, as things happen, there's a big flurry at the beginning, it dies down. September 14th is the closing date, so we just want to make sure that if you hadn't had an opportunity, it had not closed, it will officially close on September 14th.
And they're going to come back with these results? to the
They're going to come
Selectmen?
back, yeah, yes.
Do you know-
At what time, I don't know. They're going to, they're going to go through the results.
Great, thank you. That's it for us?
That's it.
Okay,
I only have 4 minutes.
yeah.
So-
There is no old business, so we're on to new business. This is a review, discuss, and act, recommendation to appoint Elizabeth, how do you pronounce it? Morera as health agent. Obviously, we had discussions earlier, and does anybody have anything they want to say now?
We're just excited to have you aboard. Thank you.
Okay,
I'll make that motion to appoint Elizabeth Morera as health agent.
I'll second that.
this was a review, discuss, and act, so the motion has been made and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is again a review, discuss, and act, ratification of MOU, administrative assistant to the Board of Selectmen. And I believe we want to table this.
For health agent, I was supposed to say with our proposed changes.
Right.
So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna amend my
You want to
motion
amend?
to appoint Elizabeth Morera as health agent with all changes discussed in executive session.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Again, the ratification of an MOU, administrative assistant to the Board of Selectmen. Does somebody want to make a motion to the table?
I'll make a motion to table.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Job description of the building commissioner. I think we've all had a chance to read it. Nothing has really changed. We wanted to make it a 20-hour-a-week position.
Up to 19.
19 hours, we're looking at the position as a non-benefited position, that's why we went to the 19 hours.
Hours.
So I was thinking about this.
Yeah,
I think we have to make a motion in a future meeting to put it on the agenda to make it a special municipal employee, because they will likely want to seek employment in other towns, and it'd be less attractive to them if it wasn't special. So I think we can approve it, but on our next agenda, we should make it a special. And then once we do that, you have to, the town clerk has to have an updated list, and State Ethics Commission has to have an updated list for special municipal employees. So we'll have to find most up-to-date list of specials.
Okay.
okay. Was it put a motion on the floor to table then?
Oh, we're gonna approve this?
Do you want to, until we get this, get the special employee?
I think we can approve it and then have it on the next agenda for it to be special.
Right.
Then if there's any prospective employees, they know we're working on it.
Okay. Then you want to make that motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the job description for building commissioner as presented and to add the designation of special municipal employee at our next selectmen's meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Vote to include a debt exclusion on annual town election ballot. I guess my question is, and I understand what you're saying, Mark, about maybe they were not informed the proper way because they didn't know how to vote, and we have alternatives. But what happened to our original thought, which was they've spoken, and how many times do we go to a ballot? Just to hear and answer that's easy.
I agree with you, and that certainly was my thought, and I think we all shared the thought, like you said. I just think we heard the feedback from the people, and that they were confused. We did the research and found that we could have done more. We couldn't have done more at the time, because it wasn't a tool in our tool belts, but we went to their townspeople, we told them, you know, here's a solution, we can accept this MGL and give you more info, and we'll do it, we'll make that commitment, we'll do that, and they voted for it. So, listening to the townspeople, that they were open to the idea of us having another debt exclusion if we do our research and homework and give them more information. And the townspeople went as far as funding it. They actually gave us some money in town meeting, that appropriated money for us as selectmen to fund a mailer for debt exclusion so they can be more informed. And I think if it was an overwhelming flop, I would say they spoken loud and clear. It was a thin margin, and we did hear people were really confused what the language is. Like,
What was the margin?
does it
I
mean?
don't remember.
I think it's under 100. It was under 100 votes, and
Under
there was a lot of blank votes, meaning people voted and were either unengaged or too confused to vote yes or no.
My concern is, I hear what you're saying, Mark, is that though people voted at town meeting, we have not had anyone come before us and be like, let's get that debt exclusion going, like, I can't wait to raise my taxes. We haven't had an overwhelming people saying no, but we have had people coming and saying no. And I haven't heard a single person say, I would love to have a debt exclusion, like the next 30 years, that would be great. So that's just my concern. Though I know they made these votes at town meeting, I just don't know the actual reason why they made it. Is it because they want a debt exclusion? Is it because they want next time to say no and they want to say it well informed? That's just my concern.
I also want to point out, we already voted to include the debt exclusions on the annual town election ballot. So the review, discuss, and act to vote to include debt exclusion is misleading, and it should have said vote on the language, because we've already voted as a board to include it on the annual town election ballot. We just didn't have the language. So I wish this was worded differently and more reflective of what our comments were at our last meeting, when us as a board were all in agreement to place it on the annual town meeting. It was just the language that we hadn't agreed to. So it's confusing for the public and the staff at town hall when 1 week we're for it, the next week we're not for it. My thoughts on this hasn't changed from the beginning, and I hope as a board to give the public some clarity as leaders. If you're for it, doesn't mean you have to be for the debt exclusion. If you're for giving the the public the option to vote on a debt exclusion again with more information and more mailers and more resources available to them, or not. I just wish as a board we could be a little
Sure.
more in sync.
Okay.
This is misleading on here. Can we even vote on the language the way this is presented on here?
You had voted to include it on the annual town election. This next step is to review the language that's going to be, that's going to be on the ballot. So this is the same language that was used the last time. It's prescribed by the state. So, and this is, what it does is then the town clerk sends it to the AG's office for review to be placed on the ballot.
But to Selectman Mello's point, open meeting law, what's reasonably anticipated by the chair, we have to live within the confines of OML, and it says to include a debt exclusion. We've already included it, so like Selectman Mello said, can we even vote on the language tonight? Because it doesn't say it in the agenda. It says vote to include a debt exclusion, which we've already voted on.
Correct.
So I think it's such a hot topic, and of course wanting to do things correctly, we should just, I hope, and I'll even make a motion to that point, that we put this on our next agenda with the correct language.
It has to be.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
Is the language going to be clear?
Can you just come up here for, I'm sorry, you have to come up and just give your address. Sorry.
For those of us that watch it on TV, this is good.
Hi, Glenn Cabbage, 2484 Pleasant Street. I echo a lot of what Bill Moore said earlier about really taxes in the town stretching a lot of people to the limits. I am beyond that limit right now. My taxes have gone up by a couple $100 in the 4 short years that I've been in Dayton, and we're already trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do about it. My family, because it's hurting us. It's hurting us a lot. I'm paying way more than $1,000 a month in taxes, and I am finding out that my taxes aren't even accurate. That what I'm paying is in itself a problem. I need to know that we're not just going to keep changing the language and finding new ways of doing this until somebody finally pushes a tax increase in on me, because unless the language flat out says this is a tax increase, I'm not really sure what else needs to be said. I'm hurting. I don't know how else to say that. And if people just keep morphing this issue into one thing and then another until finally they get a tax increase, it's really crippling my family in a lot of ways. And I want to know that if there's going to be new language so that we can get more people involved and more votes, that people understand it's a tax increase.
I can speak to that. The language for debt exclusion is out of our hands. It's prescribed by the state. I think it's DLS who sets it, but it's written by lawyers and it's confusing. It is what it is. So that MGL that we accepted allows us to clearly say what a yes vote means and what a no vote means, so that a voter would understand that the yes vote will increase your taxes and a no vote wouldn't. And it's reviewed by town council. I think there's a way for proponents for a yes vote and a no vote to weigh in on it. So while we can't change the language on the actual debt exclusion, we can give you more information and publish it what a yes and a no means.
So the vote that was taken previously, the one that there's some debate of whether it was, a wipeout or just a narrow majority or whatever, if that had been determined to be clear and everyone knew what was going on, would that have been enough to put this to rest?
Yes, absolutely.
So what are the facts that are saying that we know for sure people didn't know what they were
So many
voting?
people at the town meeting stood up and said they didn't know what they were voting on. It was too confusing. So some people who wanted it voted no, and some people who didn't want it voted yes. And we felt that, hearing that feedback, it was necessary to clarify the situation, send out a mailer, which they approved at the town meeting that we would send out this mailer. Like Mark was just saying, we're limited on the language because it's governed by state law, and send it out so that they could make an informed decision and have it pass or fail legitimately and not half-ass.
I just want to feel confident that
Sure.
as a voter and a taxpayer, this isn't just an end around to find a way to increase my taxes.
No, because I wouldn't vote for it.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir.
I think if it fails again, I would never support one again. That's,
No.
we want to just make sure we've done all our due diligence, get folks the information they need.
Okay. So did you make a motion, sir? You did.
I still have a comment.
Oh, sure, come on up. Sorry.
We have public input a little further down the agenda, Mr. Chairman. Do you want a motion to take public input out of order, or?
Well, it's still open for discussion.
Oh, I thought we already, not to be nitpicky, but I think we've already, that motion's over. We've already all voted on it, no? Did we already all vote on the motion?
To move it to the next
He asked
meeting.
for input, I think.
Right, I asked for discussion.
Right, but for this, so it was review, discuss, and act, we voted. It's over. The motion is over, we've already voted. So you'd have to take a motion to take public input out of order if you want people to speak. I'm not a parliamentarian, but
Yeah.
just to run a meeting, I just think
Sure.
that's what
Can you give us just 2 minutes?
Sure, take your time.
Okay, we're gonna finish it and then we'll get right into the public input.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then it comes to approval of the warrants.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the warrants paid by September 4th, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, point of order, please.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, there was never a vote taken.
I thought it was open for discussion too. I didn't realize there was a vote taken.
So I have Mark putting it in the form of a motion, and I do not have the,
There was
you
the
know, the
motion
roll
was
call.
seconded and then the request or
For discussion.
that's where I.
You didn't vote on
Beautiful.
the motion.
I thought we did. My
Yeah,
apologies.
that's okay.
Well, with that
So
said,
come on
then
back up.
absolutely,
Open it
of
up
course.
for discussion, okay.
Bram Cedrone, Lincoln Avenue, and to Mark Pacheco's point, the state started this stuff. When a no really means yes and a yes really means no. That's why people don't vote on an item, because they're not sure what their yes or no vote means. The state started that,
Yep.
and it's not always made clear. You can use their language. There's nothing that says you can't add to it, right? That says a no vote means this, a yes vote means this.
We get to do that with this new MGL. That's what we get to do.
Good.
Correct.
That would make it clear.
Absolutely.
That's the state that started that. Are we going to have any more public input about that SERPA thing? That's
Yes.
why I came to, okay.
Yeah, at
Thank
the
you.
end.
I'll wait for that.
Okay, it's coming up. Thank you for correcting that, but yes, sir.
May I have 1 minute to rebut some things that were said?
Sure. As long as it's on the debt exclusion.
Yes.
Okay.
A couple things were mentioned. First of all, the item that was talked about at town meeting to send out information was not specifically targeted towards a debt exclusion. As a matter of fact, during that meeting, I kind of went, I'll bet this is for a debt exclusion. It was never clearly made. So I think the argument of saying that the people said that we want to have a debt exclusion vote because they approved this giving out information. That was what was presented during that meeting, that this was a way for the board to present more information to people on questions that are put on the ballot. It was never specifically mentioned that it was for a debt exclusion. So there's that.
Okay.
And there's also, the comment was made that, it shouldn't be up to 3 people and not the entire, it should be put to a vote for the town. My argument is it was put to a vote by the town. It's been done. I don't like the idea of keep going back to the well over and over again until you get a vote that you like. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, a motion has been made. Has it been seconded? Did you second it?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. It was open for
I don't even know
discussion.
where we are anymore.
So now we have to vote, please.
Nicole Mello, aye.
Aye.
Mia Karen's an aye. Approval of the warrants, please.
Okay. Warrants paid by September 4th, 25, 10/8/26 for $118,780.25. 10B 26 for $108,673.26. 10C 26 for $5,684.12. 10D 26 for $7,507.37. Warrants paid by September 11th, 25, 11/8/26 for $127,306.74. And 11B 26 for $147,721.40.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the town warrants? All those in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence. We have a letter of resignation from the Cemetery Commissioner, Barbara Danforth. Just, you guys have that copy of the letter, it's on the,
Yes, thank you.
Motion to accept with thanks.
I'll second that.
motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Approval of the minutes, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes of August 27th, 2025.
Second on discussion. Is
Motion.
this with
Go
the, with the changes, these minutes here?
Yeah,
Yes.
she had voted the changes, yeah.
Sound good.
So a motion has been made and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Public input.
Okay, Francis Roney, Lincoln Avenue, about the open space and the SERPA thing. I'm gonna put forward an idea that you may or may not like. I've already approached the developer of some land behind me, near Lincoln Village, where there's a pond that can't be developed. They would normally give that to the town. I approached them, they wanna give it to me. I'll pay tax on it, the town won't. So I should come in first before anybody else. And I plan to put it in a land trust with the aid of the Conservation Commission, which they've already agreed to verbally.
Great.
As far as expanding Lincoln Village, dream on, baby. I have a well right where they would want to expand. Water rights go back before this was a town, okay? Just so they know that, because Nancy's brought it up before, too.
Okay.
And we might as well shut it down right now. I have a nice letter from a good lawyer that explains it's not what the land is worth, it's how much it devalues your property.
Okay.
So, eminent domain, good luck. Good luck. And besides, I want to keep it conservation,
Sure.
you know? So I just want to let everyone know, but I'm going to go to your meeting on the 1st and the 6th. I'll be here. I don't think SERPA cares. They're the state. They don't care about the town. They care about open space, maybe. I don't know. I've met a couple of the people. I think they just like to tell people what to do, but
Okay.
that's my opinion. But I just wanted to put that out. Maybe I'll join your committee open space. I try to keep my own open space. That's what I'm trying to do, and I'll pay the tax on that.
Sure.
The town won't, and besides, I abut it. The town doesn't. How are you going to get to it?
Right.
Lincoln Village is a state facility. I'm the only one that really abuts it. So it makes more sense for me to have it.
Sure.
I just wanted to put that out in the open for everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since we're going in that direction,
Yeah.
thank you.
Any more public input? Anybody out there? That? No?
Nice one.
Sure.
Sorry to be a pain.
No.
Just to make sure we're doing things correctly, I think review, discuss, and act. I think the discussion part is between the boards. I think that's, I don't know if that's Robert's rules, or if it's an open meeting law, but I'm pretty sure it's between the board.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, I just think we need some more information on it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure we're doing the right thing.
Sure.
Because we have public input twice, and I value discussion, but I think, I was gonna go with, I think the town administrator, if we could do some more research for us.
Right.
Because the way I've seen other boards do it is, if there's an agenda item that the public, they think is gonna be some public discussion, they'll make another motion to allow for public input. Otherwise, it's discussion amongst the board. So, you know, if they see folks want to discuss it, they'll say,
Yeah.
okay, there's a need, let's make a motion. And then the board can decide whether they want open it to public input. So not trying to limit anyone's free speech, just want to make sure we're doing it right within the confines of.
Sure. I always thought it was the opposite, that before you vote, you have the right to hear what the public wants to say. So you're saying they do, but you have to open it for public input.
Right, we would make a motion to open public input for that agenda item. Otherwise, they can talk during our two public inputs that's on the agenda.
Okay.
So that's my understanding, I think we need someone else to
Clarification.
weigh in.
Yeah.
so that
Can
we
you
run it.
look into that, Ralph?
Yep, will do.
Yes, sir.
I was the moderator, so I can,
Weigh in on that?
speak to that.
Town meeting has different rules than a.
It is Robert's Rules of Order, and relax, I'm gonna agree with you.
So pretty relaxed.
So Mr. Selectman Pacheco is correct, in that the body here is the Board of Selectmen. And when you have reviewed, discuss, and act, when calling for discussion, it is discussion of the board members. Okay, but I will say that, the chairman has the right to recognize anybody at any time to speak at the board. So it's the chairman's discretion. And I personally have been very happy with this board, and previous boards also has been very open to hearing public input at the time that a particular item is being discussed. I don't think it's a bad thing, but you are 100% correct that according to the rules of order, when you ask for discussion, you're not asking for everyone's discussion, you're asking for discussion amongst the board.
Okay.
If you choose to recognize someone, that is your right. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just follow up on that, the school committee does it that way as well. The discretion of the chairman.
I wasn't aware. Okay. I don't think Ralph has to follow through then.
Okay,
Take it off your list, Ralph.
You want him to follow through? Yeah.
All right.
I
It's
will,
back on there.
Back on there, Ralph.
it's back on.
So much for your vacation. Any more public input, guys, anywhere? No? Okay, then the vote for adjournment, please.
And we're going
through-
into executive session,
Yep.
right? Do I have to read that whole thing again?
Um,
Or can I just say we're going back into executive session? I make a motion to return to executive session.
Second,
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Nicole Mello, aye.
Mark Pacheco, aye.
Peter Karen, aye. Thank you, guys.
Have a good night, everyone.